as well. So again, this is week 7. So we are rolling right into our next category. Again, as I mentioned, this is the last week that we're talking about biodiverse hotspots. So I know we've been talking about them already for the past 2 weeks. So we covered our coral reefs. We covered rainforests, specifically the Amazon rainforest. And then today, like I said, we're going to talk about our last biodiverse hotspot, which is our Madagascar. So like I said, we're going to get right on into it. First thing I want you guys to look at when we're talking about Madagascar is our handy dandy map. So as you can see, we have our lovely big map. You know, you have North America, South, Greenland, Europe, everything like that. And then the country that we're talking about is this itty bitty island country, or I'm sorry, country's right, sorry, brain. So it's this little country that's located right off the coast of Africa. So again, we're talking about this area in terms of a biodiverse hotspot. So I know we've reviewed it already, but can anybody give me again a brief definition of what it is to be a biodiverse hotspot? So what does that location have that makes it a hotspot? What do you guys think? Caitlin, go for it.
It's a place with a lot of species of like animals and plants.
Yep. That's pretty much exactly what it is. So it's the location that has, again, your high diversity, or it has a high level of both plants and animals. So again, we talked about 2 weeks ago about coral reefs, and again, why they're diverse. Talked last week again about the Amazon. So again, specifically about rainforest and why they have really great reasonings for having a lot of animals and stuff. And then lastly, we, like I said, are talking about Madagascar. So this space, or this type of land, is special and kind of unique because of the concept of being an island. Also, are we focused with our little pinchers here? I see you guys playing with them. Are we focused? You guys can play with them, but just like, I need you to focus. I promise we'll get to the fun part in just a little bit. But so again, first off, how do we get islands? This might be, we're kind of starting small and we'll kind of work our way up. How do islands form around the world? There's many different ways. Connor, go for it. What's one way islands form?
Maybe if like sand like builds up.
Yep, sand buildup. Essentially, absolutely, yeah. Grayson, how else? Or adding to that?
There's once a long time ago, it was called Pangea, where everything was once together, and when it split up, the little pieces that fit into to make the whole entire like world, sort of, are the islands.
Yep. Yep, perfect. So that is another way. So essentially you have a big body of land. Like Grayson said, the continents start off as Pangea, is all connected together. And then eventually over time, those pieces started to break apart from each other. So an island could be essentially a broken off piece of whatever area it's located next to. Caitlin, did you have another one to add to that? Go ahead.
I did. I learned that Hawaii was formed by ashes from a volcano.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the last one. Also, Carson is showing a great picture for us too about how the countries or the continents were together and then they eventually spread apart. So thank you, Carson, for showing that. But absolutely, just like Caitlin said, the other way that you can make an island is by volcanic eruptions. So you have a volcano that's located either out in the middle of the ocean or maybe even off on the coast or on land. And as that volcanic eruption happens, the soot and all of the magma and everything that comes out of it will eventually cool and again, eventually become part of a body that's either in the water or just separate. So for Madagascar, how that island formed, it is essentially formed by breaking off from Africa. So as you can see, you have your main continent right here, and then again, you have your island right off the coast. So it's important to kind of highlight that when we're talking about this space particularly, because a lot of times you don't really kind of think about how animals got to this island. What are your thoughts as to how animals ended up on Madagascar Island? What do you guys think? Carson, go ahead.
I think it kind of connects to Grayson when the Pangea got split up, animals were separated and got stuck on Madagascar and later evolved into what we know today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely the kind of the main reason why. So because of that split off from Africa, all of the animals and species and plants that were on that part of the island or part of that land then got broken off from the rest of the land. And like Carson said, they basically then got trapped on that island. And then they had to then stay there. And like you said, evolve and kind of change specially for that island. Is there any other way to get to an island as an animal or even as a plant? Grayson, go ahead. What do you think?
Oh, like they could either fly over there or they could swim.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a person like brought them over there as a pet, like the python, like in Florida, and then it like got too big, so then they released it.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are exactly all the other reasons. So again, if you're an animal and let's say you're a bird, an easy way to get to that island is to fly over. You have other animals that are probably potentially going to swim depending on how remote of an island you are. And then absolutely too, we have human impact. We have humans that bring over animals to the island. A great example of this is in Australia. A lot of animals were already on the island of Australia, but there were a lot that were also brought over and then ended up kind of colonizing and or kind of going in high numbers on the island. So again, kind of talking about some animals that are found in Madagascar. We have this lovely picture here that just kind of gives you a range of the different types of animals. So again, we're talking about a biodiverse hotspot. Again, we're talking about a place that has a huge variety of these animals and plants. Also as context too, the kind of environment, does anybody know what it's generally like at Madagascar? Like what type of habitat they have? Connor, what do you think?
In some places, I think it can be like sandy, and some places it can be really like there's a lot of trees and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. So you have your beach coastline that obviously surrounds the island. And then the main central part is really a big jungle. It's again very similar to your Amazon. It's got dense forests, again, tons of plants and animals that are there as well. So again, we have just kind of a picture of some different ones. You know, we have our insects, of course. We have our lemurs, we have birds, geckos, chameleon. We have our fossa, which are pretty cool. Again, variety in our toads, as well as we have, again, birds of prey. So again, there's such a big variety and a big kind of diversity in it. And again, the reason that you can have or that there is such a diversity is because of this island effect, because all the animals at some point either got trapped on the island or they made it over to the island either by flying or by, again, being transported over there. So again, it kind of isolates them. So it basically means that everything that happens on the island is impacting each other and not really impacted by many other things. The cool thing about Madagascar too is that it really is not habited by a lot of human kind of impacts. It's one of the few places that has a little bit more minimal impact than other islands that you find, such as like the Hawaiian Islands and stuff like that. But again, just kind of giving you an overview of those animals. And specifically, we're gonna be doing our activity specifically focusing on lemurs. So lemurs can only be found in Madagascar, or certain ones can only be found there. And again, you can see how much they range in terms of, again, what they look like. So you have, you know, your kind of iconic, your ring-tailed lemur, from your different ones, like your Sitka lemur, you have your red ruffed all these different kinds. You have your really cute little gray mouse lemur down here as well. And again, just kind of showing and again, detailing that because they're on an island, they're again being impacted by different things. And again, creating this hotspot. So it's pretty cool. The only thing I didn't highlight that I want you guys to think about, how do you think plants get to islands? So we talked about how, you know, how an island is formed, but how do plants get there? Caitlin, go ahead. What do you think?
Well, the seeds could be like dispersed through the air.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, perfect. Yes, so air dispersal for seeds. Again, something that plants utilize here, you know, just in your everyday kind of environment, but absolutely for an island, they could easily drift over. What else, Grayson? What do you think? How do plants get on islands?
I think like going back to the Pangea thing, that when it was there like connected to Africa, that there were trees on that little part, and then when it got broke apart, they were over there. But then when they bloomed in the spring, they left all the seeds on the ground, and it kept going.
Yeah, absolutely. So you already had kind of a foundation of plants from whatever area or island you were connected to. So absolutely, you could easily then have those plants kind of hold on and then be connected or going over to the island. Carson, what else were you going to add?
My one is kind of a weird one.
Go for it. I love weird.
I'm just gonna say one word. Poop.
I love it. Yes. A lot of people don't think about poop and or, you know, are like, how does this have to do with anything? Do you know, can you explain, Carson, a little bit, how does poop transport plants for those who don't know?
So maybe like things that can swim can like transport from the mainland to Madagascar, and like they could be like omnivores or herbivores and transport seeds in their poop over to the island and then poop on it. Then
yeah, no, literally that's it. I love it. I love that you absolutely know. So definitely, so animals that eat fruits and vegetables or any type of plant that then produces a seed, once they eat it, a lot of times it's really cool. Plants are specialized that their seed doesn't break down. And then like Carson said, when they get to the island or when they're at the island, they poop out their seed and then the plant grows because it also has fertilizer from that poop. So I'm wondering how many times we could say poop today. But so it is science though. It does work and stuff like that. So it is, again, another really cool method. And another thing I was thinking about too, to kind of consider, coconuts are really, it's common for them to have this, but what can happen is, again, talking about their seeds, a plant could, for example, coconut trees that tend to be along the coastline. What happens is the coconut will fall into the water and it'll actually eventually drift off into or at the island. And then once it gets caught in the waves and eventually ends up on shore, the seed will then open up and it'll eventually become a coconut plant. So that's, again, kind of an interesting or cool way for the plants to, again, eventually end up on islands. Again, all depends too on where your island is located, because Madagascar is so close, or pretty close to Africa. It again has a little bit more connection to the mainland. So you can maybe get a little bit more variety of animals and stuff like that than you would to a more remote island, which is pretty coul. So we are gonna dive right into our activity because again, always fun to do stuff. I thought you guys might have fun doing an activity versus just a normal craft. So again, this is our lemur activity. I'll just quickly read the first little segment. It says, what is it like to be a lemur? In some ways, very different from life as you know it. Like humans, lemurs and other primates have opposable thumbs, which means they can use them to touch each of their fingers on the same hand. What would life be like without these flexible digits? So we know we all have our thumbs with us. And again, the huge, great thing about having thumbs, it allows you to, like it says, you can then touch each fingertip with your thumb, meaning that you can hold onto things a lot better versus if you just had, you know, just 2 or 4 fingers, whichever. So we're going to do kind of a little game. So again, what you'll need or what you can get out first is, again, you should have 2 tweezers. So you can put that aside. You should also have some toothpicks. I believe you have 2, or maybe you just have 1, I don't know. Again, put that aside. And then in your bag, you should, again, have a variety of different items. So it should be, you know, between like little pom-poms to little beads, to buttons, stuff like that. Little sequins as well. Sorry for me to pick them up. But basically what you want to do is you want to make yourself an area that you can then have all of your items, your kind of loose items out in front of you. So if you have your desk or whichever, or just a space that you can then put your items on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And I'm going to move my screen down so y'all can see. So as you can see, I've put my items down here on the table as I'm losing some. Oh God. So again, just make that pile in front of you and then have a little, either a cup or another separate area that you're going to be putting your items inside. So I'm just going to use the container I had mine in and set that off right next to me on the side. So again, you want all of your little kind of loose items in front of you. And then you have your tweezers and you have your toothpicks as well. Also, yes, you guys have a variety of different items, so I'm not sure what all got mixed into yours. So if you have something cool or interesting, I see you all have interesting different things. So like I said, so what we're going to do kind of three trials, essentially. We can do definitely more as we go on. So what we're going to do, it's going to be kind of a timed thing. So we're going to work our way up into being able to use our thumbs. So again, you're going to be able to utilize only the tool that we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to first use our toothpicks exclusively. Then we're going to work our way up to our tongs. And then we're going to work our way up to our hands. Oh yes, you guys should also have beans and I think maybe corn in yours as well. I forgot that y'all had those additional things. So we're going to work our way up. And essentially the part of the activity or the game is that you're going to be trying to put as many of your items into your separate little area within, I don't know how long we want to do. Maybe we'll do like 30 seconds. So essentially I'm going to set a 30-minute or 30-second timer. And then we're going to, like I said, start off with our toothpicks. So what happens is you can only use your toothpicks to pick up your items. So also too, different items are going to be worth differently. So for example, picking up a pom-pom might be easier than picking up, you know, a button or vice versa. So it kind of just depends on, again, what you're picking up. But again, we're going to do like 30 seconds of just picking up, and you have to pick up one at a time. You can't just like do a full like grouping of them and throw them in. Like you got to do one item at a time just to be fair. So yeah, so we're going to work our way up. Like I said, we're going to start with our toothpicks, and then we're going to do our handy dandy tongs, and then we're going to actually use our fingers. And essentially what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of compare, and we're going to see what we think is easiest to use. So you guys want to do a minute instead of 30 seconds? Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. So let me get my lovely timer. All right, so like I said, first one, again, you're just utilizing toothpicks. You can only pick up each item one at a time. So again, if I'm trying to pick up a pom-pom, I can only pick one up at a time, and I'm not going to be able to show you, one at a time to then put in my next set. So again, we're going to do that for a minute. We can share or just kind of show how many we got of each item, and then we'll kind of work our way up. Yes, Carson, do you have a question, bud?
Is it like one item for each tweezer or just one item each time?
So it's just like one item as you're picking up. So like you pick up a bead. So that counts as your one. If you can do 2 at a time, so let's say you can pick up 2 beads, 1 on each toothpick, then that's fine as well. But I'm just saying you can't just like get a whole group of like pom-poms and throw that in. Like you can't just kind of like shoveling it in. You got to just use your tube. So like I said, everyone is starting with toothpicks. So get your toothpicks out. We'll eventually work our way to tongs. And then we'll do tongs and then we'll do fingers as well. Alrighty, so like I said, also gotta be truthful. So once I say stop, make sure you stop. And then we'll, like I said, we'll just kind of either show or share how many and which ones you got and or how difficult it was. All right, you guys ready? All right, ready, set, go. We're getting through. Working. Doing it. Oh gosh. Pom-poms are killing me. We have 30 seconds left. 30 more seconds. Oh my goodness. This pom-pom is killing me. Still 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so put your toothpicks down, hands up. All righty, so does anybody want to, you can either just show us in your, whatever you got, or you can kind of lean down your thingy, your camera, or you can share however you would like. All right, I see a few, I see Acadia's and Caitlin's, I see Carson's, awesome. Good bit. You guys did a really good job. I definitely failed. Oh, I see Grayson's too. Awesome. Definitely was interesting. What do you guys think about it? Was it easy, difficult, okay, fine, kind of in between? Carson, what do you think? How did you feel about toothpicks?
The toothpicks for the pom-poms were probably the hardest, but I found out easy way. Just gotta stab them, and then they stick.
Awesome. Did anybody else find that out too?
Yeah, there's no way to get like the things that don't have holes in them. Like this had a hole, so you could actually pick it up. But with the tweezers, you'd have to like use them both to get the beans and corn individually, which would just be harder. So
yeah, but say so potentially hard for some people. Again, the toothpicks, again, it's a little bit more difficult. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our next one. So you can put all of your items back in, or if you wanna set them aside, it's up to you. If you wanna like physically compare how many you got from each round. But we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do it again. And this time we're gonna utilize our lovely tweezers here that we got. So you can, again, same idea, you can only pick up one item at a time, but you can, in theory, pick up both and then do it like that. So again, you just can't shovel it in. But yeah, so let me get my timer ready. All right, you guys ready? All right, get ready, set, and go for it. All right. Go for it. Pick up your items. Wow, I am flaming beads. Also, I am sorry if you get random items in your room after this, because they have been shot around. 30 seconds, halfway there. like I said, keep putting your items in. All right, keep rolling, 15 seconds. All right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Alrighty, thumbs up or thumbs down, however you want to do it. Go ahead and show your different your group now. So I see everyone's looking good. Awesome. Nice, nice. Awesome. I see Grayson's too. Perfect. Wonderful. All right. What did you guys think about that round? Was it easier? Was it harder? Caitlin, what you think?
The toothpicks were a lot harder than the tweezers for me because with the tweezers, I got all of them except for the corn.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, I was about to say, so maybe Carson, you're gonna add to that? Go ahead.
I'm about to say, because like the corn is the only thing like that's physically hard. I went for the easiest things first with the tweezers, so I can just get them out of the way. But like the corn is physically the hardest for both. Like the smaller things make it harder. And since I was using my like iPad stand, they were like on a flat surface, so I couldn't pick up the buttons.
Yeah.
In enough time.
Yeah, buttons were definitely a trickier one as well for our tweezers. So awesome. All right, we're going to do our last round. So this is going to be, you can literally, I'm trying to think what would be fair. So let's just use our first and our thumb. So just kind of like our little pinchers right here, because I feel like if you just use your hand, like that's just, you know, that's going to be very, very easy. So again, you can use 2 fingers. Again, 1 item per pinch kind of thing. So you can't just like, you know, pinch 3 at a time, just 1 at a time. And again, we'll do 1 minute. So get your items ready, just so that way we have enough time. All right. Yes, let's say baking predictions. Have an idea how much easier this one's going to be. Alrighty, so we ready? All right, ready, set, go for it. All right. Going through, doing it. Definitely seems like our time is going much longer now. We still have 30 seconds left. We're halfway there. Keep on working away. 20 seconds left. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Does anybody still have items left? Are you? I see Carson said he was done. 10 seconds left. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Alrighty, guys. So you can again show your last group. All right, I see a good bit of you again. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see Caitlin's. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so again, did we seeing Grayson's too. Awesome. What do we think? Carson, what do you think about our last tool that we got?
I knew it was going to be easy because we had a lot of experience with our hands, plus like their hands, and not something like this that has like a little grab range. Like you could literally just go anywhere.
Yeah.
Plus, I knew it was going to be so easy, so I put all the things in there, even the previous things to pick up with.
Awesome. 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 Yeah. So definitely, like Carson said, definitely easier probably with our fingers and our thumbs. Just again, because we're used to using this tool, as well as again, we kind of get a little bit better grip on all of the different items. So awesome, guys. You did a really great job. So that is going to be it for today. So again, I will see you guys all next week. Have a good rest of your week.